Crocky mates, we've got ourselves a wild YouTube subscriber. They're dangerous. This has to be handled lightly. Listen up, y'all, cause this is it. The beat that is wicked, delicious. If you're wondering why I have a pin roller, that's because we're about to make some bread. So for me, yeah, I got 100 subscribers in 3 days, easy peasy, but the real hard problem was getting 1,000. It took me over a year to get 1,000 subscribers because of these 5 rookie mistakes. And I'm going to share these rookie mistakes because I want to see you win. Well, mates, I'll be honest with you. 100 subscribers in 3 days is easy. Just have to take yourself out into the wild internet, find a Facebook near you, and when you're on it, set a trap. By setting a trap, I just really mean that we just need to pause really quickly because historically speaking, I suck at Australian accents and I'm doing really good. Like every time I do it, it always goes into like a southern accent and okay, I feel like I'm not gonna catch it back, but anyways, just find yourself a wild Facebook, send a message to all of your friends and family. You know, the way this works really, oh shoot, just went British. Okay, forget about that. You just send a message to all your friends and family saying, hey, I started a YouTube channel and I would really love if you could support me and I'd really appreciate it. Because here's the thing, just putting a big blast call to all on your Facebook or in a group text is not gonna work. You have to call people by name. So yes, you could have a generic message that just goes out to everyone, but you personalize it a little bit with maybe a little quip or two that you remember about them or your relationship with them or and adding in their name. That is really important because it just adds a little bit of personalization to it. And yes, it is still, copy and paste, but it's a little bit more of a personal copy and paste because you specify their name and people like that name specification stuff. For Facebook, you can message about 100 people a day before the bot notices your suspicious activity. So all you need is about like a 30%, 33% conversion every single day and you'll get 100 in 3 days. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let me also note that I'm not without social anxiety and I was really afraid to send the message to some people because all the people that are my friends on Facebook I know, but some of them I'm just maybe like acquainted with, or I think that they might not respond to the message or help me. And so I just felt really scared sending some people the message, but I was like, at the end of the day, it can only potentially help. Like it can't hurt. Like what's the worst that's gonna happen kind of thing, except for the fact of me feeling scared of, human interaction. So it was also a really heartwarming experience because there's some people that support you that you just never imagined to support you. And you're just like, oh my gosh, like, thank you. So it's scary, yes, but just like all good things in life, insert something motivational here. I'm going to share with you these 5 rookie mistakes in no particular order. Number 3, not treating YouTube as a business. You need to be thinking about supply and demand. It's business 101. What do people want to see? What do people want to watch? And what is there not a lot of? Because if you're just contributing to something that there's already a lot of, then it's going to be really hard for the algorithm to sort you out of the bunch and pick you to promote to everyone else when everyone else, their grandma, their auntie, their cousins, their ancestors, twice removed, are all on YouTube trying to collect their coin or bread, if you will. So you have to be thinking about it in terms of what is there a lack of, where is the need, the void, where can you add some yeast to make yourself rise? You know what I'm saying? In my mind, that was a great analogy. That is also what you need to be doing. You need to remember that YouTube needs you to work hard. That brings me to my next point. Number 5. It took me a year to grow to 1,000 subscribers because I didn't want to put in the work. YouTube is a lot of work. I wanted my video edits to be the easiest thing on earth. They only take me 5 minutes or even less. However, they weren't pulling views, and they're not pulling views because they're not entertaining or engaging enough. You need to put in the work to make sure that your content is engaging enough. People only come onto YouTube for a couple of things, and it's not for OnlyFans. 1, something really funny. 2, something educational. Or 3, something funny and educational. But I mean, if they're gonna be listening to, you know, the big boppers, not little bops. That being said, you need to be sure that you're taking the time to put in the work. And putting in the work also means researching your market. What are the demographics that you're hoping to target? Who are the people that you think will like your content? How do you get connected for free?
With education connection, get connected for free. With education connection.
How do you get connected for free to that audience, right? You can't rely solely on YouTube because YouTube is messy and she's a lot of people that she's also talking to. That brings me to point number 1. I was not making enough searchable content. What is searchable content? That's just basically content that people search, right? So I have one video that's done outstandingly well, and that's because people are going on YouTube and typing it in, which is DIY jute wrap. If I have this video that says, why does Beyonce sound like a dolphin? Nobody's going to be typing that into a search feature. And if they are typing that in, then make sure that at least half of your content is searchable, because that is going to drive people to your channel. If you don't have any searchable content, then that just means that you're relying on the algorithm to pick up and push out your video to people. And like I said, YouTube is talking to a lot of people. She's messy. So you know, you have to get yourself another mate, if you know what I mean. Number 2, not paying enough attention to watch time. Watch time is like your single biggest indicator of growth in terms of when you're starting a channel, because watch time tells the algorithm,
why is my English so hard today?
Watch time tells the algorithm that people like this stuff. YouTube likes stuff that people like because YouTube likes money, and if you're providing a potential, you know, source of money for YouTube, then YouTube's going to like that and they're going to like you. Watch time shows how much people are engaged in your video. How much do they like your video? How much do they keep watching and listening and hearing, whatever. If people aren't watching your video, then your watch time is going to show that. They're only going to be watching 5%, 12% of the video. You need for your watch time to be as close to 100 as possible, because that tells YouTube, yo, a lot of people really like this and they're watching it for almost an entire video, so you gotta show this to more people because more people are gonna really like it. From February, my channel has gone under a complete transformation because I'm trying to collect some coin. I got bills to pay, and these 20 little views that YouTube is pulling me is just not cutting it. With your watch time, again, the first 30 seconds of your video are critical to your watch time, because people need to watch about 30 seconds of your video for it to count as a watch, for you to get the little bump up. That means that your first 30 seconds have to be interesting, engaging, catch people on their toes, make them go crazy, make them go wild. You gotta whip out the goodies in the beginning, keep them interested, engaged. If they say for 30 seconds, they might stay for a little bit longer. I feel like I'm missing a number. I was not spending enough time on YouTube, meaning there are so many people out here on YouTube that are, you know, doing their little thing, thizzle, but you don't really see them. But also, I don't really watch YouTube. I don't watch anything, honestly. So anyways, I wasn't very familiar with what all is going on out here, and basically stumbled into a lot of videos that are very interesting. And basically all I'm trying to say is, by watching more videos on YouTube, I understand what people like. And so those are things that are unexpected and things that are entertaining. Doesn't necessarily have to be funny. You don't have to be funny, but you gotta just be entertaining, right? Like, so I'm funny, but like I'm situationally funny, and YouTube is a lot more like stand-up comedy, and that's not really my ministry. I'm more of like, you know, a wit. So I have to like, you know, go back and forth with the person, and there's no persons here except for me and this pin roller and sometimes Olga or Gertrude. I promise I am funny, and I know usually if you have to say it then it's not true, but I laugh at my own jokes all the time, so like it must be true. I just don't have, you know, all of the things I need around me. Anyways, we're getting distracted. Try to spend more time on YouTube and watch people's videos. What is it that you like? What is it that you don't like? And then when you're watching your own videos, take off your mustache and pretend to be someone else. Pretend to be someone that doesn't know you. And as you're watching your video, just think to yourself, like, if I wasn't me, wait, no, I'm not me right now because I don't have my mustache on. If I were a stranger, if I don't know this person, right? Like, what would incentivize me to continue watching their video? First and foremost, everybody, we all think that we are underrated. And if you don't think that you're underrated, then we probably need to sit down and have a conversation about self-love. Anyways, we all think that we are, you know, great YouTubers and that our content should be a lot more popular than it actually is, but that doesn't really matter what we think, it matters what other people think. And that is one of the main areas where I went wrong. I kept thinking that YouTube was about me and what I want to share, but really YouTube is about my audience. It's like being a chef, again, or a baker. When you're cooking food, it doesn't really matter so much what you like, it matters what other people like to eat, okay? Like, you're not eating these tomatoes, so put them in the burger. You know what I mean? You can't not put tomatoes in the burger just because you don't like to eat them. It is about your audience, your customers, your fan base. I was making videos that I wanted to make because they're easy for me, and they're easy for me. Remember, it's a business and you need to be thinking about your customer, your fan base, your blah, blah, blah. What is it they want to see? What keeps them engaged? And you do that by stepping out of yourself and into someone else. Maybe put on a beret or something. And then just cosplay, character your way into someone else's shoes sitting down watching your video. And then really like critique it. Would you click out in a couple of seconds? What keeps you interested or engaged? For me, I noticed that that is adding a lot of movement, and people like the edits because they find that it's entertaining. But if I was just sitting here talking to you straight-faced on, it's just not interesting, and you would just click off and not subscribe to my channel so that I could butterfly.